to Affordable Housing Week or Affordable Housing theme that has brought us here. Okay? Yeah. So that we are together. So, okay. Thank you very much for coming. I believe we are ready. Yeah, we are ready. Thank you very much for coming for this media engagement with you. We are here at Leopard Beach Resort, where I've been staying since Monday as a guest, because we have Affordable Housing Week here in Kwale County. And of course, we have other projects outside Kwale County, but we are here for a whole week prior to Masuja Day that will be celebrated on 20th. Affordable Housing Week became the theme, became the precursor, or was chosen to be the precursor for the Masuja Day, and therefore we have various activities happening here in Coast Region, particularly here in Kwale County, that is hosting Masuja Day for this year, 20th of October, 2024. The theme that we have for affordable housing for this week is the Boma Yangu, Housing the Nation, Empowering the Future. Boma Yangu, Housing the Nation, Empowering the Future, and of course we have been calling it Affordable Housing and Urbanization for the Future. The reason why we are here is because we needed a platform, and a relevant platform within the national agenda to speak and publicize and tell the nation what we have been doing in affordable housing program. The Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development is the one that houses Housing and Urban Development as a state department. The Housing and Urban Development as a state department, as you know, all Kenyans know, has the key program right now that is on our fingertips, or on maybe as a discussion in the whole country, is affordable housing. You recall that from last year, we accelerated the speed for ensuring that Kenyans are able to access affordable housing. You cannot access affordable housing if they are not there. The demand that we have currently is, we need at least 2 million houses or housing units. You rent a one door for a family or for a single occupier. We need at least 2 million units. That is the deficit we are struggling with. With that, assessing our financial capacities and investments that we may be able to attract, we require at least to do 200,000 units per year. That therefore means that we have to roll out a very robust program, which we have done with the support of Treasury, with the support of Kenyans, and we realized that therefore then we needed to fund that program. And that's how we came up with the housing levy, a housing fund levy. The affordable housing fund levy, in the beginning, took people in a maybe unprepared situation, notwithstanding that affordable housing was a program for the previous government. You recall that the Kenyan government, the government that was led by Uhuru and William Ruto, 2013 to 2022, also had as some of the key projects or programs, housing was one of them, manufacturing, universal health coverage. So when we came in, assessing where we were, we realized that we haven't really taken off. There were houses going on, but the program and the plan was not in place of coming up with what numbers you need vis-a-vis the demand that is there. The supply, when you look at the supply, before we started this elaborate program, the supply of housing units was maybe between 30,000 and 50,000, both done by government and private. Obviously, that tells you that if I need 200,000 per year to start meeting the demand, is that then we were doing badly. Through the housing fund levy, we now have been able to put together a fund that will give us 63 billion shillings, Kenya shillings, per year. What that money does is that it will not be able to do the houses that we need, the 200,000 housing units, but it gives Kenyans and investors comfort, assurance, and that the government, through the State Department, can be able to give guarantee even to investors for takeoff. Takeoff means that you can come with your money, invest with our guidelines for affordable houses or in the affordable housing program, but then, and agree, because we've got to agree on the material, the designs, and how you will actually implement the program, because including the main target is to ensure that we have jobs, we create employment with this program. I mean, this program targets two key things: job creation for our youth, but also ensure that we are coming up with houses that are accessible because they are affordable. Decent, affordable housing and job creation. With those two, then you are able to create the economy. You are able to inject into the economy a very consistent, powerful, and assured economic base in terms of, you are building this number of houses, there will be money to build them, you will employ people, and these people will be paid because you have a fund that assures that you continue with the program. In terms of the economy, where we are right now, we are like creating an extra $1.5 per day into the economy. We are putting into the economy an extra $1.5 per day. Why? Because you can count what we were, and therefore coming up with per day through this program $3, and the minimum we are paying is shillings 600 per person for the basic minimum youth that are on the project or in the project. And they are working consistently. There is no way that you can, once you pick them, you don't have the luxury of sending them away immediately they come onto the job, because we also want them to create a record. Most of these young people actually know how to build. They know how to do masonry. They are carpenters. They are good artists. Some can be able to do doors. They do welding, but they don't have certificates. So within this program, we also ensuring that by end of it all, and we don't see this program, it's a long-term program actually, because when you look at that deficit, and every year you require to come up with 200,000, that what we need is to just make sure that we are able to fund the program. So, how many youth have I been able to engage? Right now, I can say in my data, we have at least been able to employ 145,000 youth. With that number, then you look at the professionals coming on board, engineers, contractors who are also trained. You have architects, you have quantity surveyors, Or you have bankers, because in terms of investment, we are also working with the banking sector. Therefore, you are looking at then where do they get the materials? On the site, in the smallest project, we'll have at least 200 to 300 youth per day. Some sites have up to 1,000 youth per day. The economy around that place, if you today go to our projects, within 3 months of the project taking off, security improves almost immediately. Why? Issues of petty theft, those kind of things are tackled by the mere provision of these jobs that we are providing. And we have taken that, this is information that is documented in Kibera, in Mukuru, and I'm sure we'll be able to document it here in Nyari, where we are coming up with a huge project of not less than maybe 3,000 to 4,000 housing units. The first phase is already taken off. We will have a playing field. We'll have a field there, playing ground, and I mean a proper stadium within that project. It's 22 acres, land which we were lucky to get from KBC. We will do an ECD unit. We are doing a primary school there. We are doing a secondary, and we are doing a health center, level 3. And these facilities are, of course, we are also doing a market. And where there is no market, we expand the existing market. Where the existing market really cannot accommodate, maybe we improve it and do another market. All this is meant to improve the economic income of that particular area. So that's, for me, a very big project in Mombasa County. But in Kware, we have already taken off at Kware town, the city, just opposite the governor's premises. The building, the office buildings, we have a project there where we are doing 195 units. So I think I wanted us to release this information, because I think the negativity that was there in the beginning may blind or prevent the most key important information in terms of this project. One, you can imagine the number of, how much stones we shall use. Now I'm getting you out, we are getting out of the site, the project site. These stones that we are building with come from sites, quarry sites. So you can imagine the number of stones, the tons of stones that we shall bring to a site that we are building 2,000 units. The tons of sands that we shall bring, and the economy of where the sand is coming from, the stone is coming from. The transport sector will benefit because, of course, to bring the sand, the stone, the cement into the project, you are also using transport. So, of course, people with their vehicles will benefit. Look at the fuel consumption for that project to be rolled out. What about cement? Here in Mombasa, we have, in the coast region, we have Mombasa cement, and we have Baburi, correct? These industries are some of the manufacturing industries that will be, by end of it all, also very big beneficiaries. We are also ensuring that our chuma is manufactured here. You don't have to do that from outside, And of course, there are tax incentives. Luckily, also to do these houses, and why they are affordable, is because there are also incentives that we are giving. We are removing the tax. We are building on our land. Government land is Kenyan land. I know there could be questions, how are you doing that? But, our current law enables the government institutions to be able to pass over land through NLC and through the Ministry of Lands to private citizens. It has happened before. It has always happened, but this time it's through housing. In this week, we have had partners working with us. We have had various banks put up their exhibitions at our Muvidani, Muvideni. I'm sure you have been there. We have, I think the number of exhibitions is the largest we have been able to attract. We have financial institutions pitching up there to, of course, market and engage maybe interested owners of houses, but also to say we are here and they are working on financial products that will enable Kenyans buy the houses. We've got the manufacturers are there, the cement manufacturers, the chuma manufacturers, the banking industry, technological innovators are also there, because also technology in terms of material and professionalism is also being exhibited. And I had hoped that I will see the media maybe also, and I would invite you, because even tomorrow we are there, I would invite the media to just familiarize yourselves with what we are doing, so that you can maybe give even independent information. But critically, I want to invite the media to go around any of our projects, the ones that we have taken off, and get information directly from especially the youth who are working there. They are being paid properly and well. And therefore, I want to really pitch and speak for affordable housing and say that the government requires absolute support, because commitment of His Excellency the President is at a notch higher than usual in terms of delivery. This is not a project we can afford to make mistakes or to lose halfway in the middle. And so the department is working extremely hard to ensure that we are able to complete the units that we have agreed we will work on. And therefore, Kenyans, work with us, come with us, become the owner of Boma Yangu, Nyumba Yangu. It is Maisha Bora, because you can imagine that you will be required to pay 3,000 to 5,000 shillings, depending on the typology of the house that you select. And people are still wondering whether this is possible. I'm here speaking as the Cabinet Secretary and assuring Kenyans that even the deposit of 10%, we are accepting you to start paying as soon as the project takes off from the ground. You can pay in the next maybe 1-2 years. As we build, please pay your deposit. Start paying to own the house. When we complete, we hand over the house to you. You pay, you live as you live in the house. So it's like a rent to own the house, tenant purchase. And this is a scheme that is known. It is, it's not new with us Kenyans, because it's not always that you have money to buy. And we are actually not building for those people who have money to buy cash. Those are not even really welcome. We are building for the indigent, for the people who have 3,000 shillings a month, who have 5,000 shillings a month, and they are living in informal settlement, where you all know, Kenyans, how the life there is and how the living conditions are. We don't have water in our informal settlement. We have no access roads. We have no, security is at zero, because you've got to walk through those areas at night. There is no good lighting. And of course, we are working very hard to ensure that they are also well lit. and especially through our Kenya informal settlement program, improved program. But still, every Kenyan would like, as a basic human right, to live in a decent place. And therefore, I really want to pitch for this program and say that do not be left behind. As we speak, we have over 550,000 registered applicants for the housing units. And so far, I have 124,000 housing units in the pipeline. 124,000 in the pipeline. Some almost complete, different stages. Some almost complete, maybe 60% complete, 70%, 95%, others starting maybe at 2, 3 to 10%. And therefore, you can, from the registration numbers that I have stated here, 550,000, it's obvious that we are not able to meet the demand. And therefore, we will be very keen through Boma Yangu, *832#. Within that platform, we'll be able to shift through people who will come in wanting to buy homes for speculation, to make money. These are not houses for making money. These are houses we are doing with Kenyan money, Kenyan taxpayers' money, to give to the people who are paying us that money, people who need the houses, and people who cannot otherwise afford a mortgage of 30,000, 50,000 shillings, people earning between maybe 10 and 20,000, 20 and 50,000, and 50,000, 50,000, 100,000, up to 200,000. That range is really maybe our focus, because we know it is quite challenging for that category of Kenyans to own a home. Mama Mboga, because you don't have to have a salary. People are asking me, Mama Mboga, Boda Boda, and these are our very key and very important customers. People are asking, how will they afford? These people, you can imagine, may be making 300 to 500 shillings per day. It means by the end of the month, they still live somewhere, and they are paying money between 2,500 and 3,500. Don't go to pay for a house that is basically has no facility at all. It's not a permanent house. It's not a place you would like to live in. You are just living there because you can't afford more than 3,000 shillings. Let's have all those people coming on board, and those are the people we want to take care of. Mama Mboga, by end of the evening, can be able to send money to Boma Yangu. Once we allocate the house to you, we'll give you between 25 and 30 years to pay the house. In the event, unfortunate event, you are not there, your family will not be evicted. They will continue with your legacy and continue to pay for that house until you complete. Welcome on board for Boma Yangu, Nyumba Yangu. We want to house the nation, and that is our singular agenda. For the next 3 years, this program will ensure that we hit our 700,000 to 800,000 houses by the time we finish our 3rd year from now. So we have a plan, we have a budget, and we have a message. We want to house Kenyans through Boma Yangu. Thank you.